On this weekend's new episode of 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way, Jenny received the acceptance that she wanted for years. While Sumit's parents didn't give them a blessing to marry, they would no longer stand in her way. But as soon as they cleared this hurdle, Sumit slammed on the brakes, pushing for a delay. Is he ever going to marry Jenny? As Season 3, Episode 11 of 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way began, Sumit Singh offered Jenny Slatten some advice. He advised her to act like a stepford wife, albeit not in so many words, politely putting out a tray of snacks for their guest. The astrologer was coming to visit, and Jenny could make a good impression upon him and upon Sumit's parents. Speaking to the camera, Sumit's parents Sana and Anil explained their position. They put a tremendous amount of faith in the astrologer, Khalid, and in astrology. Anil spoke of suffering misfortune when not heeding the advice of the stars, so there was a lot riding on this. Jenny took Sumit's advice, laying out a tray of treats when Khalid arrived. In the past, Khalid had advised Sumit to not rush into marriage, much to Jenny's chagrin. Her regret had less to do with Khalid and more with the fact that Sumit seemingly can't make choices on his own. Khalid sat down, and Sana began airing her grievances to him. She cited that Jenny didn't know how to do things, specifically meaning things that Sana thinks that women must do. Not adopting someone else's traditional gender roles isn't really the same as not knowing how to function, but that's not how Sana sees it. Khalid surprised everyone, including Sana, with his response. He knew that she had moved into the house to teach Jenny, but told her that she doesn't need to do this. Instead, he advised, she doesn't need to try to teach or impose anything upon Jenny. A better use of her time and energy would be attending to her own husband as she sees fit. Meanwhile, Jenny and Sumit have their own relationship and could attend to each other on their own terms. Interestingly, Sumit, who fully understood all that was said, had an interesting reaction while listening. Khalid told Sana and Anil that there is no need for them to interfere in another household. They have their home. Jenny and Sumit have theirs to run on their own terms. Khalid advised Sana that Jenny will learn how to be a wife to Sumit in time, in their own way. To Jenny and Sumit, he acknowledged that Sana and Anil feel beholden to older traditions. That does not mean that Sumit and Jenny need to live that way, but they should be patient with Sumit's parents. Sana noted that one of her real issues was that Sumit wanted to marry Jenny. The gall. Sana and Anil are very wrapped up in what their limited social circle has to say, and expected Khalid to agree. Instead, Khalid asked Sana what someone should have asked her years ago: is this her marriage or her son's? In other words, she needed to back off and mind her own business a little more and Sumit's a little less. Sana was clearly embarrassed and upset by the entire conversation. Quietly, she began to tear up and cry. Her tears may also have been tears of defeat, because she gave up. Star Magic won the day, it seemed, after the astrologer said what he had to say. Sana and Anil admitted that they now felt powerless to stop Jenny and Sumit from being together. Which led to a very interesting conversation. Sana wanted to speak to Jenny without Sumit being present. Only with Jenny. She sat down and, with Anil translating, began to pay her compliments for the first time. Sana stunned Jenny and fans by telling Jenny that she was a kind-hearted person. She offered, up to a point, approval of Jenny. By extension, that meant a measure of approval of their relationship. Jenny teared up with joy and the two women embraced. Sana stated that she was willing to change for the sake of her son. It's unclear why she needed an astrologer's words to remind her of that, but whatever worked. There was one little caveat to Sana's blessing. She was endorsing Jenny as a person, but not giving the two her blessing to marry. However, she promised that she and Anil would not seek to stop Jenny and Sumit from marrying, either. They were now marriage neutral. Sumit felt like he'd just hit the jackpot when Jenny told him the news. All that he wanted was to be able to enjoy Jenny's love and his parents' love with everyone getting along. Of course, it turns out that this may have been literally all that he wanted. Later, Sumit and Jenny celebrated Holi together. It was their third time doing so, a mark of how long Jenny had been in India without marrying him. Jenny, of course, hoped that this could now change. When Jenny brought up that, hey, they can now finally get married without any legal or social barriers, Sumit had a plan. That plan wasn't a wedding date. It was a plan to find out their ideal wedding date by asking the astrologer, Khalid. Jenny has said in the past that Sumit seems unable to make his own choices, but that's not quite true. Because choosing to tap on the brakes as soon as setting a wedding date came up was definitely Sumit's choice. He told her that he didn't want to set the date for tomorrow, as if that would be rushing after all of this time. Sumit admitted to the camera that he essentially had not thought this far ahead. He never imagined that his parents would let this happen, so he hadn't planned for it. We know that Sumit is younger than Jenny, but he's still a grown man in his 30s. That's so strange of him. The preview for next week's episode shows Sumit's cold feet growing even icier. He seems to be genuinely afraid of marriage after what he experienced with his first divorce. An arranged marriage, well, that's a very different situation on so many levels that it's hard to compare them. Some fans are fed up and furious with Sumit, with Jenny, and with their whole storyline. They think that Sumit is a fool and worse for wasting Jenny's time like this. Jenny, many of these fans say, is a fool for letting him string her along, and for giving up her old life for a man who will never commit to her. Some fans have even accused Sumit of not really being in this for Jenny. Different children, including adult children, rebel in different ways. In this case, perhaps falling for an older, white, American woman was Sumit's path, one that he can't abandon or fully commit to. Fans currently suspect that Jenny and Sumit may have actually married already months ago, but either during or after this season filmed. They ignited wedding rumors late this summer, and there had been other whispers that the two had tied the knot. Besides, if they're still together in India without Jenny having been forced to leave, what other explanation is there other than a marriage visa?